Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? What's up? Welcome to a very powerful conversation. This is going to be nuts. This is absolutely going to be unbelievable. I'm in the middle of like about 100 different things right now, and I basically just had to come out and spend some time with you guys. Give back, do some stuff, figure out how we're going to make this happen. And by that I mean the success in your life. Like, has anyone else been feeling some of that massive energy that's been going around for the last week? Like, I'm not like they ain't kidding when they were telling. I was reading this. My friends have been talking about this, and I've been experiencing it firsthand. I was there where I wasn't in the right side of the world for the solar eclipse that was happening a couple of days ago, but I did get a chance to see it stream, and I was doing sessions during it. I did a go live after during. I was with you guys. We were there. We're experiencing this stuff. And for anybody who's like, "What were you guys experiencing? Like, what year is it? What happened here? Like, what's going on?" There was a lot of really old stuff coming through. And I am blessed that I started this journey a few months ago. And I feel like, because sometimes when things happen and you feel like you're late to the game, and you're like, oh, what? I missed my opportunity. I missed my chance. And now I'm just getting hit with this. Like, I need to figure out what's going on. I was blessed that I don't even know how far along I would even call this, but I started getting to a certain place in my life where older stuff, deeper stuff, even bigger limiting beliefs from my subconscious realities of when I was a small kid and even before then were starting to come up. And, ever since I met Sally, so end of 2017, basically, even before then, I got used to hiring coaches. I got used to hiring mentors. I'd already found the power of numbers, and I was really super excited about it. And it was a wonderful thing inside of my life, changing my life, completely transforming my entire existence. And I believe in investing in yourself, whether it be getting a Reiki massage or hypnotherapy. Maybe there's a timeline regression therapy. I got my astrology chart read a few times. Okay. So there's a couple of really cool things that you get that, in my opinion, modern day technology and science it kind of falls short. Like, they're like, oh, well, you need this drug and you need, this program or whatever it is. And there is a very wonderful universe based in the logical and linear levels of work hard and get it done, work hard and get it done, work hard, grow more, learn more. You can take that same discipline and apply it to the metaphysical, the spiritual, the emotional, the energetic stuff that doesn't just show up on every other test, but it's that feeling that you have on the inside, or that weird coincidence that you see these 11, 11, 1, 1, 1, whatever it is, showing up in the chart or showing up in whatever time, maybe it's on the odometer, but you get this cool little spiritual feeling. Oh, that was like my dad's birthday, or some of the people I talked to, and like her birthday was also the day that someone else passed away, was also the day that this, and we all have these numbers in our birthday. And there's this really cool story about how there's synchronicities are affecting the entire family. So for me, I'm like, we'd be silly, not to investigate that. I put my money where my mouth is. I learned numerology. I learned how to have these kinds of conversations because I always felt that deeper truth running within me, running through me. That feeling of like, oh man, I just know. Hey, Kelly, I just know that there is a bigger something in the planet. There's something more. Could it be, maybe we were sent here to do something, or sent here to pay for something? Maybe we're sent here to help people. Maybe we're sent here just on vacation, just to have fun. Maybe we're sent here to work. Maybe we're sent here to grow ourselves. Like, who knows, right? You can insert whatever spiritual belief, religious belief, that you have, that you hold. Up to you. You get a chance to choose and decide the purpose of your life. For me, one of my biggest purposes was to raise these little kids Okay, they're my adopted little tiny babies. I call them my sweet little monsters. uh, and then also to be a father and to father ideas for people, to father growth, to help facilitate development and spiritual enlightenment and like soulful connection to the self. Like that's kind of like, I'm digging layers deep in now. Like that's what I want to do for the planet. You don't take any of your money with you. You leave it all behind. So if you have people that you love and you've acquired a lot, you can give them a really good, going away present. And then even further, I remember Cam was talking about this inside of our training. He was saying, or inside of a video, he's like, what am I going to leave my daughter? And it came down to a set of principles and a set of ideas and a set of its skill sets that were going to make her profitable in any kind of situation. And that was that mark. And I'm like, you're speaking straight to my soul here, because I know as someone who wants to help someone get better, the biggest thing that you can leave behind is legacy. The biggest thing that you can really leave behind is the memory and the emotional attachment to the memory of your name. Are you going to go off and nobody remembers who you are? Are you going to go down as the Bill Gates or the Steve Jobs of the world? Or maybe you're going to go into the Gandhis and the Martin Luther Kings, or or maybe it just might be like who knows? Like, do you want to become famous? Do you want to become impactful? How many people do you have to impact in order for you to feel fulfilled? And I was looking at this because someone was like, oh, as big as you're getting and all this, you're such a really big star. Nobody knows who you are. You only have like a couple thousand people maybe that have ever heard your name. And for me, I'm like, I still feel pretty famous though. I mean, I spoke on a stage, I was like in front of like 500 people for like an hour. And like, I work with everybody every day. Like, I feel like I'm and some people even call me a household name. I'm like, what? Like, you helped our family. I named their children. I named them through marriage. I've named people through divorces. I help people find themselves. Like, that for me is probably one of the biggest pieces of fame that I'll ever experience. I don't care how many people know me or how many subscribers on my YouTube or Instagram. When you meet someone and they're named because of your advice, I mean, for me, I'm like, that's like a glory as high to God as possible. What if I name that one person who goes off and becomes a huge influencer in life, right? And I got a chance to set their vibration up right. Am I, like even Tupac says, I may not be, I'm going to paraphrase this really loosely. He's like, I may not be the hey Alejandra, how's it going? What's up? Your little one is so cute and getting so big. It's unbelievable how time flies. Can you imagine? Oh, it's so crazy. Anyway, what was I saying? Tupac even says, I don't have to be the one who changes the world, but I will spark the minds that do. And I thought, oh, what a way. What a powerful piece. You don't have to be the big flame inside of the planet. If maybe that's what you want, great, go for it. Hey, Annabelle, what's up? You could just be the gasoline, the fuel, as well as the match or the spark. What will you feed the planet? And that's why I talk to people sometimes. They're like, oh, I want to make a lot of money. And I'm like, you're not going to do that alone. Otherwise, you'd be a really powerful salesperson. But if you want to build a leveraged business, you have to start thinking about how to talk to influencers and it really dawned on me to think, man, as my level of communication grows, so does my conversation. And not to say I don't absolutely love taking care of people who are finding business for the first time or people who just want to take their kids to Disneyland. We all have those. But once you get them, then what do? You're not just going to stop. Your vision will continuously grow. And if you're, if you wanted to, sometimes it could be, hey, it grows to me just whipping around the world and I want to live a very selfish lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with that. Or maybe very selfish for my family. I want to be selfish for the species. I want to be selfish for the future. I want to be selfish for our kids. I'm like selfish for our success. So I'm really like, I'm taking a big one here. I know that I'm taking a big one here. And a lot of people will feel like it's too big, it's too much, or, what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do with your life? And I know one of the things I grew up with, like I was early in my working days, and I'm like, I like to make people feel good for the money that they work hard for. So when I went to work at Shaw, when I went to work at Rogers, when I went to work at McDonald's, when I went to work at clothing stores, although I sold cars as well, my success pattern was, hey, Linnell, my success pattern was developed based on me wanting to make someone have an enjoyable, pleasurable experience for paying me. And that would be the best screen protector, or the best phone with the most custom fit plan, or the most loving care to someone who wants to jump ship and they want to go to a different company. And they're like, you never find service like me anymore. And they're feeling like we're friends for life. So I've picked up so many friends that used to be customers from my days as a call center, because they're people that I admired and people that admired me. And I were like, you're something different. I'm like, I know. And I collected friends amongst that whirlwind of how can I help you? How can I help you today? What did you come in for? Is there anything else for you? Please leave a nice thank you on the, thing. Now it's different. This is social media. This is the wild, wild west. And I know this is a little bit late to call it that, but for me, I'm thinking of a much different game, because I'm working right now. What am I even doing? I'm gonna give people a really powerful message for this massive day of spiritual power. My cousin got married a year ago today. I was the MC at her wedding. Priya, happy anniversary to you and Dennis. I wanted to do some. Thanks, Sarah. Awesome shirt, right? What's up, Pac? Pac's live. I wanted to do some free readings for people in case anybody wanted to come up. Any one of my clients, if you guys are part of my clients and you've been through a session with me, and you don't know, I have a private mastermind, and it's called my Numerology Alumni. And it's a private group I run webinars for. I promote other people in there. It's a private chat right now, and it will grow into its own group one day. But the series 3 is happening tonight. So we're going to go through a very private 2.5-hour webinar. It's going to be people speaking. You can speak if you want, but clients only. So in case you haven't had your session with me, you're like, oh man, I want to go. I want to know about these things. I want to get these replays. You have to sign up. You have to be with me. Okay, you have to absolutely be with me. And also for clients only, again, I'm opening up my course one more time. Okay, so at the end of this month, hey Jackie, what's up? Just inviting everybody to my private mastermind alumni. It's happening tonight. You're obviously invited because we had an amazing session together. I got a chance to put the E at the end of Jackie, and woo, like a freaking slingshot, and you just never stopped coming down. So I'm so super blessed that I have you in my life, and for what you've been and done and doing as well. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I didn't need to go and do that, but I helped the person who was going to. And for me, that was one of the most powerful gifts, to think I was standing there with the flags being like, you won, you made it, let's go, let's do this. And some people, they don't recognize they're winning. It's a really painful fact that some people are stuck with some of the stuff that's been happening in the universe and the planets. And I'm like super blessed that I figured this out a couple months ago. Hey, Matuko, what's up? I think that what we should do is continuously learn to grow. Sometimes it's just not your time. Sometimes people are like, oh, well, I'm trying. You can't just say I don't want to win. Obviously, I want to win. And I get it. We all do. But we fail to recognize how much of our mental, emotional, spiritual, physical energies are all tied into some of the things that have been storing us, containing us, and holding us back, limiting our beliefs, if you will. A limiting belief is only that when your desire to live outside of it occurs. So when you're like, oh, I want to be a millionaire, but I have this limiting belief that I can't do it, there's a challenge inside of that conversation now. Because you're thinking, oh, I don't know exactly, where to go from here. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to have a negative relationship with money. I don't want to push people away. And that's part of the process. Before that process, you were unconsciously incompetent. You had no idea that this even existed. Nobody showed you about relationships or about business. You're just a happy little worker bee. And it worked for a little while, but then suddenly the rumbling takes over, right? And the personal growth journey takes over. And suddenly now you're like suddenly dealing with stuff, and I want to become a better person, and I want to become this successful person. And it was crazy. I'm even reminded of Jackie and I's conversation. Just like, I won't go too far into this because I don't want to just put your stuff everywhere. But what you were holding, and what you're holding, what you had available to you, as opposed to what you were holding on to, was unbelievable. The lights that turned on, that was like, I'm going to let go of this and I'm going to grab this, because this is what I really want to play with. So side note on how spiritually amazing it feels to work with you guys and to help you guys find clarity within yourselves. Like, oh my God, it's like the best thing ever. It's just such a, I appreciate you guys so much. Honestly, like, you have no idea how much value, purpose, and service you give to me in my life just by existing, just by being a part of it. So yeah, let's talk about this. Let's do some stuff. We're going to go through some things. I did want to offer some free readings. I changed it around a little bit. So usually I'm like, hey, if you've had your reading done, you can't do it again. But in this case, if you do want to have your reading, or you want to look at your numbers again, or you want to maybe take a quick peek into your friends' numbers, or your kids' numbers, or your dog's birthday, I'm here for you guys to do that. So we're going to do that. I can take maybe about 7 or 8 or 9 people, something like that, or I don't know. So when I call for birthdays and you want in, and you're like, hey, Alma, read my birthday, Bobby, what's up? Then, we can definitely do that. Okay. So I'm here for you to do that. We're going to have some fun. What else? We're also going to be talking about what happens tonight. So for any of you guys who are already clients of mine, and you're already inside of, or you're not yet inside of my private group, I do have a private chat where I invite you guys to come and hang out tonight at 5 o'clock. So a couple hours from now. We're going to go through this in spiritual depth. There's going to be some people there. If you have a feeling you want to talk and you want to be in there, you want to absolutely express that, you're more than invited. Okay, but it is only for clients, so it won't be broadcast on Facebook. You have to let me know. You have to tell people. You let people know Bobby's got a private group. I got to be in it. I'm always inviting people. So if you know of someone who's worked with me and they're not in my group yet, I can't keep a track of everyone because I just don't have the time and the resources to spend the time doing that. I really need to get my VA on this, but will happen. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm a little organized. Some spiritual storms happening in the middle. So after that, I also wanted to invite all you guys to make sure 25, 26, 27, 28, or 29, around those days, we're doing the mastery course. And oh man, I teach people how to read numerology, guys. I teach people how to read numbers, to read what's happening inside of your chart. It's the coolest thing ever. It's the coolest thing ever. Nothing looks the same anymore. You look at something and you're like, you see it for what it truly is, vibrationally speaking. Oh, unreal. Eggles putting a lot of people in here. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing it. Host a watch party. Share the video. Comment your team. Let them know that this is like the guy to take a look at. This is the one. So if any of these guys start showing up, they may want to put their birthday in, and I don't mind to do a birthday reading for them. So that's going to be kind of fun. So we're going to come back. We're going to do some birthday readings. We're going to give you guys some messages. But let's talk about this. So if you guys, for those of you who haven't been keeping up, for those of you who are like, oh, he's going to talk about the planets again. I'm going to talk about the planets again. The zone right now is, summer 2020, okay? 2019. Sorry, I'm in the future already. Someone in 2020 is listening to this and be like, what? No. This is 2019 right now, and we're in July. Okay, so this is a powerful gateway message of a 7-month and a 7-day. During alignments, gateways, or we see things on the clock, all these different cool little things happen. we get a combination of numbers. Okay, so numerology is just basically combining different numbers on different levels, and it poetically tells us things about ourselves and our soul and our universe and our family. It's the most craziest thing. If you haven't booked in with me, I don't know what you're doing. But Linnell says, I had a session with you before, but if no one else has a reading today, then June 7th, 64. Bobby does amazing readings and gets so much value. Sure. Okay, so when I call out Linnell, you'll be the first one I do it for, okay? So yeah, numerology, we're going to combine pieces. We're going to combine birthdays. We're going to combine all these cool different things to create a story around you. So that's you, and the world's not just about you. There's also a calendar. There's also a planet. There's also a cosmos and a spiritual plane, and oh my God. And then who knows? There's the digital realm and the Xbox realm and there's PlayStation Network, and who knows how many different reality. There's the Sims. Okay, who knows how many different realities there are out there. I'm here to say that, you know, I'm speaking for the third dimension. Okay, so when I take a look, Alejandra, you're okay. So I'm just gonna write these down because you guys are already screwing me up here. So I'm gonna go, okay, Linnell, and when I run out of space, too bad. Alejandra, and I don't know what I'm gonna get into this, but I'm putting you guys in queue. Okay, I'm gonna write your birthdays down. So June 7, 64, and then we have November 29, 83. Cool. Early bird gets the worm. What can I say? So, hey, Christine. So these combinations, these conversations, these connections also happen in the calendar, and that's why sometimes the sun's shining, sometimes it's weather raining, sometimes it feels pretty ominous, sometimes it feels kind of fun and playful, and nobody really cares, and nobody's thinking. Could be a time zone where a lot of people are dying at the same time. Could be a time zone where a lot of people are coming to birth at the same time. So, you know, you get a chance to feel into where it is. Kelly's saying, really need to rebook for an update. Would love to hear any messages you have for me. Oh, yes. Yes, Kelly. We absolutely. See, when you work with me, there is a strong call to do this again and again and again and again. Like, you should be looking into yourself every at least 3 to 6 months. So 19 June 81. Oh, okay. 81. Cool. Sorry, I was going to make you 10 years younger. Too bad. Cool. There's a reason why you would want to do it again. If you were to see a house full of garbage and you take you have 50 garbage bags, and not saying your house is full of garbage, okay, Kelly, this is an example, our spiritual mind gets clogged with clutter and with stuff. When you fill up your trash, then you've got a trash bin full. I come in and I help you take that thing out. And then you're like, oh, I feel so much better. My trash is gone. Well, then next thing you know, more stuff starts to come in. More stuff starts to come through. You get to start cleaning a deeper level. Wouldn't life be nice if you just had one garbage can and that's all the garbage you ever needed? The garbage trucks come every week. So, chances are, living in a consumption reality here we're living in, we may be exhausting energy, series of energy that could be getting deeper and deeper and deeper as we get older and older and wiser. When you're a kid, you're playing with dirt and you're playing with a blade of grass. And my little girl's like, finally, she's like 2, she's like pulling a grass blade apart very meticulously. If you see an adult doing that, you're going to be like, oh, must have this weird little tick about them, right? They rip grass apart. If you see a 2-year-old doing it, you're like, wow, look how dedicated she is. Look how much she pays attention. Funny how the same action at a 45-year-old man, if he just sits there and picks up one blade of grass at a time and rips it apart and lines it up nice and easy, you'd think he's mental. You'd think he's crazy. But a 2-year-old does it, and oh my God, she's genius. Look at her stacking skills. Look at she's paying attention to detail. So the same thing, when you get older in life, there's more to deal with. There's more stuff inside of you, okay? So if you want to have a conversation once and be on your way, cool. Boom. Let's have it. Let's make it. Let's get you going. But if you're a professional, you don't just hire a coach once. If you're going for a big thing in life, you're not just going to go to the gym one time. you're going to go back again and again. So Kelly, I would recommend, it has been a year and a half or something like that. I'm not sure when we got a chance to connect. Things have changed. You're taking a new name. You've gone down a new path. New stuff is coming out. And also back to our conversation, it's all coming out. All right. So if Gary's here and Gary shows up, oh, Gary, yeah, I saw you. Okay. So we're going to do Gary. Yeah, Gary, you're going to get in there right before Jody. I see it. Is that June 2nd or February 6th? Let me know. So we're going to go here, and then we have Marina. Hey, Marina. What's up? Okay, cool. So we're going to do this. And if you guys have already done this and you're like putting your birthday in again, it would be nice to know, what am I doing? Why am I looking at this again? I've already given you this story. I've already read your numbers. And this is why I was like, oh, I don't read my clients' numbers again online, because give someone new a chance. But in this case, it's like, look, there's a spiritual divine message. I get that you're going through stuff. You're still alive. Hey, read me, read me. And I'm like, you already paid for your chance. What are you doing again? It's nice to know that we can go back in there and talk about it. So that's why I kind of changed the game a little bit. I'm like, let's open this up. So Jody, let's do Jody as well. December 5/79, cool birthday. And then Christine, I worked with you too. Okay, let's do this, Christine. And we see here August 13/57. And then we have Gina. Gina, what's up? Gina Marie. We're gonna go March 14, 1986. Cool. So I've got some of these. I think I have room for like one or two more. So in case we get there. Okay. Yeah. So to go back into what we were originally talking about, circling back in, conversations on conversations on conversations. You get distracted so easily. Not today. Today is a very powerful day. Now, there have been overload of planetary spiritual information, spiritual energy. They've been moving. And so if anybody who gets in for astrology, I don't have my thing here, but certain planets, and you're going to really have to go easy on me because I'm not an astrologist, but if you know this, you can help me out. Different planets hold different vibrational aspects of different parts of your life. So there's going to be one for your physical. There's going to be one for your emotional. There's going to be one for your spiritual. There's going to be one for your feelings, one for your work. These different energies hold in different planets. That's why, physical energies, or I think it's difficulties or something, people get really aggravated and frustrated and dense energy when we get things like Mercury retrograde, okay? Let me make sure I see this. When things like Mercury retrograde happens, and it happens often because the planet keeps whipping around, people get all messed up and they get all crazy. Hey, honey, my Sally is here, the queen of my life. I'm not looking at your message, so in case you need to interrupt me, just let me know. Gary, you're on the board, bro. I think I already got this. Oh, 6. Thank you. 6th of February. So cool. Okay. Yeah. So so big planet, like a lot of them, 5 of them are all moving away at the same time. So when there's like an ebb and flow, and sometimes you're feeling like you want to go to the gym, sometimes you feel like you don't want to go to the gym. Sometimes you feel like you really want to be in love. Sometimes you're like, oh, I hate love. Sometimes you feel like, oh my God, I want to eat everything. And sometimes you're like, oh my God, I ate everything. And like, this feeling comes in cycles, circulates, right? You're a cyclical being. And if you want proof, talk to your lungs, talk to your heart, talk to your blood. It's moving in a rhythm, okay? So as the rhythm of the planets go down, I know this is a bit of a stretch, they pull on things. If they're moving away, they pull things out of you. They pull things in negativity, and negativity is where things grow. Negativity is the growing space for tension. This is the part where shit gets real, the part where things get tough, where I'm suddenly dealing with all this crap at the same time, and can I just get a break? Especially since this has been the climax up until somewhere around August. I don't know. I'm going to have to do my homework a little bit. Akiko, can I fit you in? Come on. Guys, this is going to push us to 90 minutes. I just want to let everybody know. The more people that stay here, you're going to have to stay here till I get there. I'm not going to do this right now. So this is it. After Akiko, I'm going to do, I just wanted to say Fujiwara. I love saying Japanese names. Akiko Fujiwara. It's like I should get a sword made from this person. So let's go 12, 31, and then 31, and then 1960. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was like, I totally wish I was like a samurai and like feudal Japan. Like I have visions of me as a woman in feudal Japan, okay, wearing armor to protect myself and like feeling like I had to pretend like I was a soldier, you know, like, and like I put on like like an enemy's soldier outfit, and I'm like having this daydream in my head is the coolest thing ever to go down that road. And I've always been obsessed with things like, you know, anime and all the cool stuff. It's just a Pokemon every day, all day long. Like I just absolutely am such a fan. Anyway, cool. And also my water's Japanese, no big deal. My car's Japanese, no big deal. Okay, so absolutely love it. Okay, cool. So when we're looking at big giant stuff pulling away from us, I've run out of page. Where's Ian? Oh, Ian came in before Akiko. I really can't push Ian out of the... I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the comment. I really hope that I didn't miss anyone else. Okay, so we got, yeah. Okay, cool. Alejandra's there. Georgina. Oh, I miss Georgina too. Okay, so this is going to push us a little bit. So we're going to go Alejandra, and then right before Kelly, we're going to do Georgina. And we're just gonna make sure that shows up. Okay, I'm big on the queue. I very much respect it. So we're gonna go like that. And even as I say that, you guys can't make it up. 111, 1 hour 11 minutes with 11 people watching. Wonderful feeling. So Georgina was born on 10/25/82. Okay, so we'll make sure we get you in there too. And then what else do? And then we had Ian, and then Ian was right before Akiko, right? And so Ian Bailey, what's up? Okay, we're gonna go March 3rd, 1981, and I wonder if we're friends yet, because I feel like I've been seeing your name. I'm not sure where it has or what's going on there. But yeah, 111. Thanks, Annabelle. 11, 2 hours ago. But yes, 111. 7/7/111. Like, wow. Oh, man. So super powerfully, spiritually potent to think that right at this one moment, a gateway of angelic energy in the 111, as well as on being on the 7th day in the 7th month, it just feels like I'm getting this really big pour of like God love and God light. So in case you're basking in it and you're just feeling like, oh, this feels so good. Like you just witnessed a very powerful spiritual gateway. Okay, that like it's a beautiful thing to bring you back to God. Okay, yes. But anyway, let's go back to what happens. The painful reality of the human experience. First things first, you're gonna die. Okay, so you're not here forever. And in that process, we want to get as much done and as much money, and oh my God, we're going to make all this success happen. We have ambitions. We have a dad. I'm going to have a family. I'm going to do all that stuff. We sold a dream, right? We want to make something happen. But then there's also something inherently inside of us at the DNA level that says we want to help people, or we want to do good for the world, or we want to make this world a better place. And there are some people out there who are obviously not here that are like, yeah, Ian, we are friends. Absolutely. Yeah, I have actually been seeing you in my peripheral for sure. But yeah, you know, there are some people who are obviously not watching this. Maybe they watch the replay. But, you know, that they're at the opposite end where they're like, you know, taking advantage of people. They're lying to themselves and others, or they're in a fight or flight mechanism and they're still living in that duality existence, you know, because they haven't really stepped past the veil into the spiritual light of it's all good. You're going to die anyway. Just enjoy yourself, relax, and try to take it easy and, you know, enjoy yourself. You know, that's really what life is. You'll be a lot more successful in all areas if you just enjoy yourself. Instead of like, you know, oh, this and so and this happened to me, and I got this because I was this, and my DNA is this, and all my challenge. It creates an identity of look, help me because I'm a victim, or I don't have everything I have in life. And sometimes we give ourselves that own energy while we're afraid to get it from others. To others, we want to show up, and this was me. We want to show up like we're good, and then on the inside, we're hurting and pain and feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know where my life is going, and da da da. And but to the world is, how can I help you? How can I make you feel good for your wealth? How can I make you feel good for your money spent here? Because we disconnect from ourselves so much, and then we connect to the pride of others, or help someone I'm gonna help someone get somewhere. They're gonna give me praise. They're gonna give me a good boy pat on the head, and you did well, and good job, and I get my accolades, and suddenly I feel good again until the next person that I can drain a little bit of their love energy from, because I earned it, right? And I made them feel good, right? And they tipped me extra because they liked my service, and that it gives me a quality of I'm doing something externally good to compensate for the fact that I'm doing really good on the inside. And now this, dance show of all these planets moving across is kind of like lights on. Now suddenly it's the sobering reality, and you're not in that romantic stage anymore of just helping other people. It's that stark, painful reality that I'm not taking care of myself, that I'm not doing what I need to do for me. And I mean, it started with it didn't start, but it included things like getting my colonics done, going on an all natural diet, or even staying away from bad foods, bless bad foods. The feeling of thinking that I've got to change my lifestyle, or become a dad, or start a business. All of these really big things come to bring you up to the painful reality that if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to lose a lot faster than the eventual win at the end. And I think the win is when you look at your life back and you're like, well, that was fun. Oh, that was a good time. And then you're just like, I'm ready to go for the long nap. And you leave your body. I think that's how you win at life. My personal opinion, right? Gun to your head, last moment of your life. Can you smile and be like, woo! Yes, I did it. My family is set. I had all the fun I needed to have. I met everybody I needed to meet, and now I'm going to go meet everybody I couldn't get a chance to meet, and celebrating your own conclusion. Or are you going to be like, take my words very wisely, son. Have more fun in life and take more chances. And everyone's telling you that. They're begging you. Go and search it. If you go and search yourself common things that people say on their deathbed. I wish I did more. I wish I took more chances. I wish I had more fun. I wish I followed my dreams, or go out there and have more fun. And you never know how precious life is. And it's like a warning call of crying, like a crying call of don't let this happen to you. And I'm like, whoa. I'm going to be wise and listen to them now. I'm going to be wise and listen to my dad and my people now, to make sure that I don't fall into that same trap. Because I really don't want to. I really don't want to live my life at the end of it being like, fuck, I just need another 10 years. Just give me another 10, God. Don't do me like this, bro. I still have so much more to do. Then why were you being so lazy when you were a kid, thinking that the days were for... I'm catching up right now on the last, what felt like at one point a waste of 10 years. Now I'm like, oh, my life is so busy. I can draw back from, hey, you were really lazy. Hey, you didn't do a lot for a very long time. Hey, you wasted a lot of time, effort, and energy of other people's money and wealth and everything. It's about time you pay for all that and pay your dues, son. And I'm like, oh, my dad is like implanted in my head. And I'm like, oh, because I'm a dad now too. So what would I say as a father, right? So blessed be our childhoods. If you've had one, thank God. If you did some pretty stupid stuff when you were 20, 21, 22, 23, good for you, okay? Absolutely enjoy the moment, because stuff gets real, especially if you're willing to take on the mountain. You're like, I could die. And I'm like, at the end of it, I'm like, even if you make it there and make it back and make it up 100 times, you're still going to die. But what will you be if you were the person who actually conquered mountains as if it was just going on a skipping, jolly walk through the park? What type of a person would you be if you were able to take someone and create a success in them just based on what you could teach them and give them and heal them alone? So for me, I'm like, whoa. And I obviously want to work with people who are going to be super powerful. But at the same time, we all need help. We all are in this together. We're all dealing. What could you accomplish if you didn't have a self-worth issue? If you didn't have a dependency on other people's energy? If you didn't have this problem of being limiting in your belief, thinking, oh, it's never happened, so I don't know how I'm supposed to make it happen. And like, can you imagine what your life would look like if you didn't have those things messing you up? Whew. Anyway, back to the story. This energy that we're dealing with right now is pulling all of your garbage up front. It's literally pulling it all up front for you to actually deal with it in real time, in real 3D, in the real world, so that you can actually look at your life and be like, damn. Or in my case, be like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. And I'm still going through tough times. It's not like, you know, I pull this one from Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. The guy's like, you don't get rid of problems. The success in life is upgrading your problems, not eliminating problems. So I don't have to conclude my journey in having challenges. I've just renamed them to be opportunities. Before, they weren't even challenges. They were just problems. They were just crap that happened in my life and reasons why I wasn't going to be successful. Now they're the next thing I have to push through. They're the next thing I have to grow with, the next thing I have to deal with inside of my life. So in case any of you are, you know, experiencing anything like that, you would be a lot better to do in your life were you to, at this one moment, like, boom, that's it. Bobby said it. I'm going to do it. To never call them a problem again, and to commit to opportunities, commit to challenges, commit to breakthroughs. You know, sometimes you need to break down in order to have a breakthrough. And when we're kind of cruising up this kind of like steep ladder conversation, 2019, the year is saying, let's just pretend like everything's okay. But underneath, the numbers are like, whoa, there's planets and there's eclipses and there's all these crazy stuff that's happening and all this old stuff is being pulled out. I mean, I don't want to get too specific, but what are you dealing with? Like, what's your challenge? What's your problem? You know, what's your challenge? What's your opportunity? What's your breakthrough? What are you growing through? You know, could it be a relationship issue? I know a few of my friends have broken up with their husbands and their wives. You know, they broke up with their partner left them and ghosted them. And I'm like, you okay, bro? You okay? And it sucks to think that we invest in all this stuff just to see people vanish. Like, what the hell? I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. But I do think it's going to help us grow. So were you to align to any of these, oh my God, I'm going through something. Hey, Nikki, what's going on? Funny, you should join our conversation right as I'm talking about this. Am I going and experiencing something? Is something happening to me? I don't feel good right now. Why me? What's going on? It's a universal magnet that's pulling old stuff out of you because you're ready to grow and make space for something completely brand new. And my girl, Nikki, like, you have been through so much. You're like one of the most unbelievable, inspiring people ever. Okay. Like, if you don't know this woman's story, like, just take a stroll down her birthday, not her birthday, her page. Absolutely unreal. I picked all the people. I don't have any room space on my, but if I do have room and space left in the recording after I read people, then I'll absolutely read you for sure. But I was telling this to Kelly earlier. You gotta book in. You absolutely have to sit and have another conversation tonight for all my clients. So Nikki, this is you. I'm holding a private mastermind. It's gonna be like 2.5, something like that hours. It's gonna be in like 4 hours from now, 3 hours from now. So in case you guys want to show up for that, it's gonna be an absolutely powerful time. I'm gonna go into depth in this stuff, but the Go Live stuff is really for me to help people, new people and stuff. And also I wanted to give you guys a really powerful message of power, of godlike enlightenment, right? Because this is a 7/7 day and there's a very holy message that happens on these numbers. So going back down to the original thing that we're talking about, because I keep getting distracted talking about these planets, pulling out all this crap that's happening in our lives, there is a moment of spiritual truth. So when you get everything pulled out of you, and all of your crap is sitting there and you're like, I just threw up all over myself and my whole, all my insides, my deepest stuff, my deepest anxieties have come true. My biggest pains I'm going through. I'm in my dire financial crisis. My relationship is broken, whatever it is. And you're sitting there inside out. This day, this moment, and there's a few of these happening this month, will shine a God light and give a very spiritual light bath inside of you that's renewing and replenishing, that helps you get to the next level in your life. So you needed to go through this. We needed to be here doing this all at the same time. The people I've been reading this last few weeks, I'm like, what the heck? And I know that there's another group of them that have not shown up. And if that's you and you're like, oh, I need to do this, I do payment plans. Just reach out to me. Let me know, Bobby, I need to get my session done. Even if you've already worked with me and you can't afford me right now, I need to get my session done. Let's work something out. I want to have a chat. Is there any messages there for me? Everybody's wondering, what's my message? What's the thing that I need to hear? And I'm promising you right now, if I had to coin this down into like a tweet, and I had to tweet this, I'd say the crap that you're going through right now is a necessity. It's a necessary evil. It's a necessary pain. It's an expunging of all of the old crap. Hey, Vicky, that is preventing you from getting to the next level in your life. Just think of it that way. We're in a stage right now in the planetary cycle. We're at the beginning of a stage. The next 7 years are potent. The next 7 years are big. We're just ending a decade this year. A new decade is before us. New beginnings, awakenings, spiritual awakenings, forgiveness, like speckled relationship with mother, perhaps. Perhaps maybe it's an old friend of yours. Maybe it's someone who, really bugged you a lot when you were younger, or friends of yours, no longer friends. Make peace, forgive, let it go. You're forgiving yourself. You holding on to negative anxiety or energy for someone else is like holding poison and being the cup. It'd be like, and you're drinking it yourself. So you letting go and forgiving that clears you. And you kind of need to right now, because or suffer the curse of not dealing with your crap. And it just, like, you're going to be trapped underneath the spiritual clog, underneath the spiritual brew of all of this negative, denser energies. You're sitting there as a victim tied to your own story. So you're like, no, but they did something wrong to me and someone needs to pay this. And I'm holding on to this. The reality is you're the only one who can actually validate yourself. And that's something I recognize anytime that me and Sally get into a disagreement, or I feel like I'm not being honored or valued or whatever, or heard, acknowledged. These are the types of things we deal with, right? And then I have to realize she can't acknowledge me. There is no way for her to validate who I am. Only I can. We can look outside for it every other way we can. Some relationships are successfully built on dependency. Not me and my Sally. We are kings and queens. That's what we call each other. And so that's how we're going to live. And the king needs no validation other than his queen. So big counter, but I know I just said that I don't need her to validate me. But at the same time, obviously, happy wife, happy life. Let's just be real here. But the reality is that at the true effort of a man is to recognize his own worth and not to seek someone else to acknowledge it. So and we're almost like, wow, Bobby, that was some pretty powerful, crazy message you just got there. I hope that landed for a few of you, like, really deep. That like the true woman is that which acknowledges herself. You've given birth. You've done this thing. You've lived life. You're a collection of your mother's problems or whatever, right? Like women to women, that whole line of conversation, unreal. The healing that happens inside of that, I see it right in front of my eyes. My mom and my sister, because they live in the same house, and I'm just like, interesting. I had to leave. I had to move away, and I didn't want to be there to like do the same thing to my kids and have my mom helicopter mom over me, telling me how to parent and all this and that. Bless her. She's amazing. Absolutely, she does do a great job. But as long as I'm in her house, she's still my mom, right? And so she'll be my mom. But the reality is that now I need to step into the parent role. And I'm not saying to my sister, hey, you need to move out. It's a really sweet deal that you guys have got going on there. But to heal the relationship that all of us go through, especially, you know, just on average, people do. I'm on average. I mean, even my specific situation, I see it. You know, mom's teaching my daughter or my sister how to be a mom, and my sister feels like she wants to be the mom herself. Like that's a common thing that happens inside of all families, you know, especially in strong families where people really care. And they just want to see you do wrong. And they want to, and you know, so back to the reality is that this stuff that's pulling out of you isn't so that you can go out there and broadcast it the way that I am. I'm here to help you guys. And I'm here to say you should fall in love with yourself at this moment, this vulnerability, this peace of like, look, the sun is shining now. And you have this, all of the planets are all, and like, you know, and taking it all down so that you can grow again. They're taking all of the crap out of you. And it's a painful crap. It's a painful rejection. It's a painful disassociation. It's a painful failure. Failure is a key component of success. So in case you're feeling, you'd be like, oh, thank God, it means I'm succeeding. And I know that can feel kind of laughable to be like, I'm failing really hard. I'm flailing. Failing like really hard is flailing. And to think that is a signal that you're actually meant for success, you're meant for growth, you're meant for the bigger part. So I just wanted you guys to know that today of all days, I heal you. I heal you. Imagine the light message that's coming through me. I beam it through my hands. I beam it through my hands for you guys. I beam it through my love for you guys, my awareness for your story, the absolute journey that you have to go through. I appreciate and love every one of you guys, especially those who've shared this with me, everyone who's just watching, all of you guys. I appreciate you guys a lot, and I will be here for you. Whether we need to have our private conversation or you just want to watch, please, I hope my greatest wish, my greatest desire is that by knowing me, your life becomes a better place. Okay, I'm not kidding. Absolutely not kidding. You absolutely deserve to go. You deserve it. You deserve the success in your life. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're running to. I don't know what you're running from. That's definitely conversation for another day. But my message for you is that you have a healing, okay? I appreciate you, Nikki. It is a very powerful release. And think of it, like, think of this. This is a really tough situation. You, right? You're a human being. And for those of you who don't know Nikki's story or what she's going through right now, this is going to be super ambiguous. So Nikki's a human being, and then she starts putting stuff inside of her life. And some of the things that you're going to put in your life are going to make you expand. And sometimes these things that make you expand as a soul, expand as a heart, expand as a love energy can, like, it doesn't operate anymore. It breaks because you're no longer operating at the same size you were. You've now grown. You've stretched as much as you could as you've grown, but sometimes things are going to overload. And now all of this is going to come crashing down. The DNA, the thought, the mental, the will to survive, the will to be alive will help now all of these pieces grow again and might be a little bit smaller, but will still be a lot bigger than where you were before the experience. So you went like this, you went, ooh, wow, I love this feeling, and then it breaks. Oh my God, it's the worst experience ever. It's a powerful release. It sucks. All my love is all over the floor. All my life is off. And while we're cleaning that up, part of it is gone, but part of it builds back up again. And now suddenly you're a stronger version of yourself. You're a higher version of yourself. You're a denser, larger version of your being. This is what this sort of thing happens. It happens when we lose someone. It happens when we lose something. We lose a piece of ourselves, a part of our identity we were hiding behind. It was so freeing to start talking about my drug addiction. Like, so freeing. It was unreal. Like, I used to, I'm not going to go into the details of how bad it was, but I used to hide it and not let anybody want to know. And I was like, I'll get over this. No one needs to know. I'm just going to, and to think that I was doing something to inhibit myself. When I actually started speaking about it, I started to gain a bigger sense of power and a bigger sense of purpose as to why I actually went through that, why I actually had to experience that, so that I could get stronger one day and show up as an inspiration. People are like, wow, this guy's story's nuts. He's been through so much, or he's been through all of that. And he didn't die. He took his life by his hands and, and did something. And imagine that story when I'm talking to one of my clients who has a son who's addicted. And I'm like, this is all of your addiction. This isn't just his. You're all in this together. He's going to get through it. Look at me. I'm living proof. The universe wanted to show you someone who could really pull their life together after pulling their life apart, that it can happen. So for me to look back and I'm like, wow, like that experience alone in my life was validated in that one moment where I could be confident enough to tell a yearning mother hurting for success in her son and having to deal with the fact that he's off the deep end. And I'm like, there's where there's healing available. Today is one of those days. Today's one of those days to know that there's something being pulled out of you. And you'd be best to let it be pulled out of you. You'd be best to let it out. So setting intentions right now. I guess it was a day or two ago. There's a whole, you should Google, 2019 July astrology and get a good understanding for this. If you want some deeper reading, I'm literally looking through the pigeonhole. I've got numerology on my side, so I'm offering a spiritual message from there. But the weather out there is worth investing in. So just in case you haven't seen it yet, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. Brings us to a very powerful message today. But it's all coming down now. It's all coming down to the point, to the one conversation we're going to have with this group of people. It's my group for today. So I've already taken down a bunch of birthdays. If you guys are still here, let me know, and I will make sure I put my little check mark that you're still here. I can appreciate if some people are like, shit, I got to go, Bobby, you took too long to count. I don't have the attention span to go for half an hour or to go for an hour and 90 minutes. It's okay. It's Sunday. So perhaps maybe you're just lazy being like, yeah, this is better than Netflix. This is real. I know this guy. So let's talk if people are still here. Ian is still here. Okay. Linnell, Alejandra, Georgina, Kelly, Gary, Marina, Jody, Christine, Gina, Akiko. If you guys are still here, let me know. Jody's still here. Cool. Let's see here. Gina's still here. Hey, Gina, what's up? Linnell, really first, and she was the first person to put her birthday. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I go through all of you guys. So if you guys are still here, let me know. There is a bit of a delay. But what I'll do is I'm going to respect the order as much as I can. So if Marina, Gary, Kelly, Georgina, Alejandra, Linnell, if you guys aren't here anymore, then sorry, suckers. No, I'm just kidding. The message wasn't for you. It was meant for someone else. But if you are still here, let me know, and I will jump to you. And that means that if I have some extra time, it's going to be Vicky. It's going to be Kate. Christine says she wants, please pick someone who hasn't read before so they can experience it. Christine, you're amazing. Like, what a loving, unbelievably loving person. Gary is still here. Where's Gary? Gary is still here. I honestly, I really appreciate you for that. If you want to have something read, you can. But look at her. She's like, please, you first. And it's a wonderful thing there. So it frees up some time. And yeah, so Akiko is still here. I'm still here in LA. Oh, baby. California dreaming. So let's go in here. And then we're also looking for Marina. If Marina is still here, Kelly, Georgina, Alejandra, Linnell. What? I get it. It's okay. I'm not too worried. But it just means we're gonna get to you guys faster. So Gary first. Gary's my boy. Gary. I'm gonna give you a number. Okay, so we're gonna look at your life path like this. We're gonna look at it as 2 for February, 6 for the day, and 1 for the year. Okay, Alejandra's still here. So that means, Alejandra, you're going to go before because you're still here and I want to respect the queue. So I'm going to give Gary's number is a number 9. And we're going to give Alejandra's here. And I just want to make sure I do this right because I don't want to mess this up. And I really want to make sure that we have it. And I'm teaching people how to do this, guys. In a couple of weeks, there is going to be an event that I'm hosting. And I'm just going to quickly put the numerologymastery.info. Go ahead and check it out. See there, there's going to be tickets there. You can absolutely be a part of it. But we're going to go to Token Rock right now, and I'm just going to quickly calculate your life path just so that I have it. As soon as it wants to come up. Very spiritual day, so it looks like it's actually not even coming up. So let's do it like this. let's go like this, and let's do, I wonder if it even will work on my computer. So go 11/29/1983, right? Is that right? 11/29/1983 for Alejandra. Let's put this into a couple of perspectives here. Your birthday says 11, and then it says 29, and then it says 1983. Okay, so when I put this together, it's going to be a life path 7. As a life path 7, Alejandra knows how to be quiet. She knows how to be very observant. She's very spiritually aware. This is a friend of mine. I've known her for very many years now. There's a deep, and it's funny, even just like, what is that? 4 years, 5 years, since 2015 or 2014 or something like that. Feels like I've known you for lifetimes. This is one of my soul sisters, okay? So as a life path 7, there is a number in here that says deep, spiritual, wise, reflective, intuitive, kind of psychic. And you remember that when we met, the energy that you had was like, you're not just enjoying having a party around here, you're also experiencing a spiritual experience. And this was something that I met from you very, very instantly when I met, right? And when we met each other, became friends. The 7 allows you a spiritual path. So to know this is a 7/7 day, you're a life path 7, this is like your day. And this feeling inside of you is to think that meditation and going deep within, going into the future, seeing things is a very powerful piece of the game. Then on top of that, you have 11 and then another 11. So first of all, your energy is going to be very quiet, and you can be very deep and go very within, strong connection to God, that kind of thing. And then on the other side of this, the 11s are going to be a very strong spiritual communication to angel energy, to angel love, angel numbers. And this is particularly important for the type of loss that you've had to experience at your age. So to know that because you have angel numbers in your birthday underneath a life path 7, this is a strong combination, I say this very lovingly, for you to be able to have spiritual communication back with who, okay? So this feeling inside of your life, it will gear you up to God, to angels, to family, to spirit, to communicating with the highest and higher good. So for you running in with a lot of 11s, no wonder we became friends. I'm very spiritual myself as well. But there's that different level of energy that connected us because of our spiritual awareness. Like in a cloud of people, we're kind of looking like, oh, I see you. You see me. Oh, you're at that level of energy as well. You're very spiritual. So that feeling shows up inside of there. I promise you something. You've had to grow up fast. You know that. Your childhood is waiting for you at the end of your life. So you have to go through and do all of your spiritual work, all of your challenging work up front as a human being, and you are rewarded being born in 1983. This vibration of you when you get older, when you become a little old abuelita, okay? The vibration shows up to say, I'm just going to be a big kid dancing, always fun, always enjoying, always going to be telling dirty jokes, or like making you feel funny, or making you feel fun, or having giving you enjoyment or giving you a pleasure. The 3 wants to just have that sweetheart vibe that always shows up for you. So your childhood is yet to arrive, which could also be part of the reason why you're like, man, I feel so spiritually exhausted. I feel so drained. I feel like I'm doing so much. You really are. This is just a part of your deal. I believe those letters, AS, I gave them to you, right? I just want to quickly double check here and make sure I see this again. Okay, so we're gonna see here AS. Solid. Very, very solid. You could AS, right? I'm not going to make you change your name right now. Okay, so in case that is a thing where you do want to talk about how that would look, if you wanted to or needed to, if you felt like you're ready for something else. But because we've had a conversation about this, I like to think that you're set. You're set to be successful financially. You're set to be intuitively connected, and you're also set to live as the queen of your own life. So this is a wonderful name that you may not ever need to change. in case you do, we can always talk about that. But Alejandra Inguez, so Iniguez, right? How you say your name? Just as it is, it says the same letters of God. So when we see angel, angel, spiritual, and then a name that says God, we're looking at someone who's like, oh, thank God I'm not crazy. And someone else kind of sees it as well. Why do I feel the pains of everyone? Why do I suddenly want to help everybody or need to be there for people? Or I've got this really strong, like, I'm going to do something or create something for you. This really shows up inside of your birth path and as well inside of your names. So taking on that AS, it really boosts and promotes that vibe so that you're not the one cranking it every single day. And I know you are. You're very strong in your solidarity to get stuff done, but there is a bigger version of you as you start to get older that grows and grows and grows into its leadership and its power. So don't be afraid of that. Maybe it might be a good idea on a day like this to breathe it all out. Oh man, he's right. You know, I shouldn't just, you know, take myself for granted. I shouldn't just live in my limiting belief. Life is hard enough as it is. Let's just hire the right hands. Let's make sure that I got the right support, the right people around me. The right crew is everything. You don't need to do this on your own. And people will seek you out for spiritual solace. So that's a big deal to think that on top of it all, people are going to pour their spiritual energy on you because you seem to be able to have a spiritual renewal. There's something in there that says, look, I'll just give it and let go and let God. So don't forget about that power that you have inside of there, okay? These last 7 months have been very stressful. I can imagine that it's not stopping, but you will, because I know you, champion over this. I know. I absolutely, not even a doubt in my mind. It's like, God doesn't put you anything through that he can't take you out of anyway. Like, boom, another cliche. All good things come to pass. Boom, another one. Or like, you know, everything is as it should be. This too shall pass. Like a bunch of them just start like filing in one after the next. Great. Sucks. I don't like stress, but stress grows you. Stress makes you a better person. Stress testing things is perfect in order to build muscle in the gym. So as you are like, oh, but it hurts. Is there ever going to be yes, it does even out. The planets come back into order. Your life continues to grow. You are sitting in very pretty as you go through the third part of your life. This is divine. So when we see it, we're like, don't give up and don't go hard on yourself. And you're like, those are the two things that I do the best. I'm super hard on myself and I feel like I give up on myself all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but look at the bigger part of you that knows it's all good, that knows you're going to get something done, and that has been seen and shown it from the light of God itself. Like, you have to recognize that too. And you're like, yeah, I guess I do. That's the intangible, the emotional, the spiritual part of your mind. The technical, like, real version of you doesn't get that. It doesn't get that part. So you have to know that there's a bigger version of you that's moving you, guiding you along, and you've got first degree spiritual help, you know, from loved ones up top. Okay. So you, like, anything you need, you ask. Anything you want, it's yours. You just ask for it, and you believe that you have people and hearts, you know, beaming towards you from the divine, from the beyond. And that's more than enough to get your shit together. So in case you're, you know, super stressful the last few months, welcome to being a young parent and a business owner. And you're like, oh man, my story and a half. I'm glad that the world has you. I'm glad that the world has you to experience it in your corner of it, because that's what the world needs, is more Alejandras out there. They need more people like you that are absolutely going to be like, you know, the boss of their own right and takes care of everyone else. You just don't forget to take care of yourself, okay? Yeah, and if you do need to chat because it's been super stressful, just reach out. Let's book something. I don't mind. I will absolutely be there for you, okay? Georgina, did Georgina say she was still here? And Alejandra, if you have any questions, you just let me know, okay? So let's go. Georgina said she wasn't here. Okay, I haven't seen, or she said she wasn't here. She didn't say she was here, so I haven't seen her. So let's keep going. In which case, it's going to be Gary and Linnell, Georgina, and Kelly. You've just been passed up, okay? So in case you're like, what? And you're still here, just message me. Let me know that you're still in the comments, and I will absolutely read your numbers. But Gary, my boy, Gary, if you're still with me, let me know. Kelly's still here. Okay, Kelly. So we're going to look at this, and we're going to see Kelly's numbers. So push right in front of Gary. But Gary, if you're still with us, let me know. So Kelly is a life path 8. Pretty cool, right? And that is the case. I'm just gonna double confirm. We're gonna just do June 19, 1981. Love you, thank you. Forgot about my power with truth. Forgot about my power with the true source. Don't you dare do that, girl. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that again, because you can't. And sometimes it's okay to feel like you're kind of in the darkness a little bit. That's where you need to turn it on. That's where you need to turn it on when it's dark out. So in case you're trapped in your darkness, you're like, oh, there's the switch. Thanks, Bobby. Got you. Like, boom. And recognize your true source is absolutely yes. I'm glad you found that. You're very, very, very powerful, and absolutely love you too. Okay, Gary's still here. Gary, hang on. You're coming up next, okay? So Kelly, life path 8, wizard number. We look at this in combination with a strong mind and June having a strong heart. So if there's two things that are going to really be powerful for you inside of your, like inside of your world, it's going to be your business and it's going to be your family. So we know that up front, your June birthday gives you this, I'm going to learn how to be a mom. I'm going to learn how to be a happy wife. I'm going to find me my Bruce. I'm going to really just learn how to create a family version. Get that out of the way, over and done with. Trouble is, that's also at the expense of your childhood. Now, you being a life path 8, not looking into your names, I don't know how kid-like you were. I can remember your chart that definitely. But I know you to be a very loving and very mature and super intelligent force, okay? So when we're seeing this, I'm like, that would have cost you some negative choices that you could have made as a kid, because you would have already matured and be like, I got no time for that. I'm born in June as well. I'm like, I don't know, I just want to get married early. I just want to get my life started because I got big things to do. And this is a June baby for you, okay? Like they're already thinking about the future, especially when they're a little kid. That alone, because the 8 will disassociate from the self, the 6 will grow into its adult. We're leaving a little girl who wants to play with her toys in the cold, okay? So this is a challenge. And I know we're going super deep here, so this is kind of like your message for you in case I'm just reading it based on your birthday. You are going through, or I want to say if you're going through. I'm not going to say you're going through something because I don't know what you're going through. But what this experience tells me is that as you're creating the success in your life or doing the things you need to do and there may be a piece of you that feels like it's been left behind or unacknowledged or unaccounted for. It's because the small little childlike energy didn't get a chance to experience it in the first 27 years of your life. When you get older, however, now we see a number, a 1, born on the 19th, and 81, another 1, born on 81. 1, 1. So we see an 11. We see an individual life part 1s. When I look at the whole thing together, 6, 11, 8 is the same thing I see when I look at the word God. I see the numbers 6 for the vowels, 11 for the consonants, and the total is 8. So I look at your birthday and it says 6, 1, 1, 8. So there's another really good, solid God indicator, and that's the thing, put away the childish things. I need to help the world. I'm going to do stuff for me. But there is a big source of wealth and a big source of leadership, and it's just got that aromatic feeling. Hey, Leomomi, how's it going? It's got that aromatic feeling of family and like loyalty and community and fun and love. So I would say, were I to give this some business advice, because obviously the 8's always like, how do I do this? Just make some business happen. 1 would be, don't you dare be afraid to stand in your own freaking light right now. You and I are starting new things. This is a new beginning for us because you and I have the same cycle year. We have the same kind of numbers going on in our chart. This is where it starts. This is where it starts. This is where it starts. Please don't forget this, okay? All of this crap that's been coming up and uploading, and like when your birthday, you said you had your birthday last month, you literally stepped into the dawn of a new decade inside of your own personal cycle. This is big news, guys. Like, this is big news. Because what we see here is that all of the crap that we're talking about that gets brought up and and all this stuff is happening now suddenly gets to move upward and now gets to release you, and you get a chance to say, you know, I am a leader. You know what? I do have a really big heart. I will create my business. I'm going to have the type of business that you can have, that if you're doing a go live or a video or whatever it is, your kid can walk in and like it's not going to bother you, or like you can absolutely be interrupted by them. You want to build a family value business, or a business that gives you, you know, wealth and worth, and worth and wealth for others. This second stage of your life happens from 27 and it lasts until you die. So you being in your 30s right now, I think, right? We're not that old yet. You know, we're born in our 80s. You're still in your 30s. You're going to have to go up until your 60s and 70s for you to really fully actualize what's happening here. Like there is an angel vibration that you're encountering now. And in the meantime, it's a leadership vibration. Don't be afraid to be independent. Don't be afraid to stand up on your own. Don't be afraid to come up with your own content, your own rah-rah, like your own thing that you need to stand up from the mountains and say. If you were to stand up from the mountains and say something, I would expect you to talk about family and business, and family business, and creating a family around your business, and making your business, your business, you know, your family, and making your family do your business. And like this business and this family and this wealth, these are really powerful gears that your leadership wants to express. Absolutely. And all the while, we're looking at this being like, she grew up too fast. She grew up way too fast. You're very mature, and you can see it in your kids. I see it in their pictures. I see their faces. They're mature kids. They're smart kids. They're growing up too quick. And I'm like, you're doing it again. It's happening again. You're like, and it makes me wonder, are you guys just supposed to get grown up quickly so that you can get to the bigger part of your life? 2019 is a 3-year. So we're looking at that baby version year to say, I want to have fun, or I want to enjoy, but now I've got to deal with all this big stuff, and what's the bigger meaning to all this? And you're like, thank you, I needed to hear this and all this stuff. And I'm like, enjoy yourself this year. Enjoy yourself this year as much as you can enjoy yourself this year. Just enjoyment, because you're starting a brand new thing. And for me, I'm like very, very blessed to see this and to read this for you on a day like today. I hope that it gave you value inside of knowing this and seeing this. If you have any questions, I would definitely suggest for most of my clients, when we met a year and a half ago. Hey Fern, what's up? I've changed since then. I've grown since then. I've done things. I've gotten clear. I can help you get to the next plateau, the next thing, the next peak, the next launch, whatever it is that you're growing through in your life. I'm here for you. Okay. So in case you'd like to have that conversation, Kelly, I would love to have it now at this up-leveled sense of awareness for who you are. I had to open you up first, and now it's been some time. So in case you do want to figure out some strategy, let's build a business. Let's figure this out. I'm definitely interested in creating and manifesting wealth with you guys. Okay. Probably a good reason why we became friends. Okay. I'm not just a client. These are friends of mine. So let's go. Gary, you ready? Gary's like, boom. I absolutely need to have this happen. Let's do this. Sarah's like, I'm back. You can't do that. I've already gotten everybody's numbers already written everywhere as well. Yes, Kelly and Bruce, let's do another one. I want to do it with both you guys this time. I'm pretty sure when we did it the first time, it was just individual. So we have to, and you lost your recording. Remember that? Oh man, I don't want to remember that. We definitely need to recheck in. So Gary, you still with me, bro? You still doing this? You still hanging on? You got this? I know I got you, man. If not, Jody, are you still here? If not, Gina, Ian, Akiko, are you still here? You guys are up next. But I'm going to be reading Gary's numbers unless – Gary, ready. Cool. Okay. What are we looking at here? So this is a very it's going to be a long path to find out who you really are. I guess that's kind of the whole thing that we have to figure out in life, right? Is find ourselves. Your life path 9 shows up as someone who's very loving and very big in their heart and cares a lot about other people. we see 6, we see February, and then it gets even further to think things like, I'm going to serve everyone. I really want to, help you. The 9 is all about fixing and serving and being there and owning and helping people. This feeling of like, look, I really want to be there for the planet. And when people are in pain, you're going to feel pain. When people are going through stuff, so are you. All of this feelings keeps on coming through to think you're emotionally, energetically sensitive to the planet. So in case you want to find some fresh water, or like a river, or like an ocean, or a mountain, or somewhere where you can't really find a cell phone tower, would be great to really connect back into your cosmic self. Be nice. Even just be a star, clear star night, with all the stars in it. But that 9 shows up as a really giant heart. So we have to protect it. And you're probably not doing such a good job at none of this. And the reason why I say that is, for one, it hurts to think about you in my heart. It feels like you're giving a lot. And then I see February, and then I see the 6, and I'm like, holy dude. Like the 9 and the 2, boom, whatever you need, Gary's your boy. Whatever you need, Gary can be there. He's a great friend, always there for his friends. He's got a reputation of being there for people. It's a wonderful number. Absolutely, just all my friends are born in February, okay? Like I don't have a friend. I don't know people who are not born in February who are friends of mine. As long as you know, but I know you're a February baby, I'm like, oh, we're buddies. Because I'm a life path too. So I value that type of friendship. I value that type of commitment, that type of loyalty. Like this guy will put himself at risk for others. That's a big thing, okay? It's like ouch. I know I've done that too many times. It hurts. But at the same time, other people are like, thank you. And they really do love you. Absolutely. You're a great friend to have, okay? So we like that. Good for conversation. Really good to bounce ideas off of, but can absorb. And on one of the really good reasons you're a good friend is because you're walking around with this big bag. Like, here, you can throw your crap in here. I'll take it. I'll help you. I will heal you. And we're like, ouch, that hurts. Then we get older. And as I accidentally didn't save your recording either. I'd love to have a recap, Jody. Yes. Oh, I remember that one too. Yours was so much fun. It's so much fun with you. How could that have happened? I don't want to think about this right now. Let's talk, okay? When we do recordings, guys, when we do sessions, I'm like, I even get you guys to record it now because I'm so afraid of losing the recording. Like it's your story and you paid for it. Anyway, as an adult, Gary says, all right, I'm going to be a big man. I'm going to be a king. 9 and 6 are king numbers. They are loving, caring for the universe, and then focuses in on the home. So not only are you super loyal, but now you also want to lead. Now you want to help people grow, help children grow, help other people grow, entrepreneurs grow. Let's help. It's all about the impact. Let's do something real for the planet. A really powerful, loving, caring guy, like super loyal. You married? Absolutely. If you are, then if you're not, I'm like, you're super depressed. But if you're not married, and by this point, I'm like, no, this deserves to be in one of those really powerful, loving relationships. So if it ain't, I would say your names are going to help you. But that's probably one of the bigger goals, is to absolutely help a lot of people, as well as be in a lot of love and have some friendship in there as well. But let's put it this way. He's saying on point. Appreciate you, brother. The first 55 years of your life feels like a massive sacrifice. Actually, your whole life does. But the biggest of the challenges happen at 55, when you become an old man one day and you're not there yet. There's this feeling of, I'm finally going to do for self. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to do what I need to do in my life for me. And in case you're like, can I bring that closer now? Like, I don't want to have to live a life of sacrifice. I'd love to. Or a part of you could be saying, I'm here to do something big for the planet. I am here to sacrifice myself completely for the world, for the growth, for the value. Who knows which entrepreneurs are going to need me to come up and say things to them and da-da-da. All of that stuff shows up. That could be part of your calling. Or it could be like, ow, stop it. No, I need to take care of myself right now because I'm not taking care of myself, and it hurts my heart, it hurts my life, it hurts my wallet, it hurts everything, and I can't seem to get my shit together. This is why I would suggest a session, because then we could go through your names properly and make sure everything fits the way it needs to. Because if this thing is not fitting, you're in a depression, and it can feel a very big sadness. You don't even want to be alive. And when the reality of a really powerful name happens, is that when you become an old man and you need to step into your leader, when you need to step into yourself, You're swimming, you're flying, you're just streaming, you're absolutely just going. And we're not approaching the conversation of self-love, self-worth, self-personal development, personal discovery. At the age of 55, it's too late. At the age of 30 something right now, yes, this is where you need to realize you're a king, because sooner or later you're going to grow into the throne. And that's a really powerful thing to look at. What do I do as an adult? What do I do as an old man? As a kid, you're everybody's best friend. So we love that happened. You could create a following very easily by just being you. But what we do want to see now is that we don't waste these numbers, that you have a very powerful love life and a very powerful financial life, but you are growing into a superhero. 1 and the 9 is a yin-yang concept. When we see 9s and 1s together, we see people who are going to throw themselves into the fire to help someone else, and it's growing. It continues to grow. That's why I'm like, actually doesn't stop your whole life. It's a big sacrifice. It's a big, I'm going to do this for the planet, but you just get an ego at the end of it, being like, I got to do what's right for me. And what's right for you, Gary? Helping the planet. You know, up until then, it was like, I got to do what's right for the planet. I got to do what's right for everyone else but me. I always got to take care of everyone else. Finally, there's a place, I got to do what's right for me. Well, what's right for you? Taking care of the planet. So we're getting one step closer, but at the same time, it's still an ultimate level of love and sacrifice. The impact that you will have in your life is phenomenal. Were you to step up to the plate and say, well, if I got a throne coming, I better step into my king digs, because I can't just walk in with a barbecue outfit or a backyard, pool yard, whatever, you know, can't just wear my gym clothes. I got to stand in my truth and in my power of what am I going to do as a leader and what will I leave behind, because this thing looks like it wants to go pretty high. I wouldn't be afraid to give you a strong destiny with numbers like this. You're like, I want to work from home. I want to have everything. I want to have all the good things. I want to help other people have all the good things in life. And bam, I want to make it big, as opposed to numbers that are like, I don't know, maybe I'll just get a job. This is like, no. You want to help the world. The best job in the world wouldn't be good enough for you. So you know, looking at numbers like this, I trust you. I absolutely respect you, but you need to trust and respect yourself. Everybody loves you and respects you and trusts you. That's no big deal. You learning to do that for yourself is what's going to save your success. Promise you that. I'm going to give you a name. Everyone who's getting a reading today is going to get one. So I'm just going to quickly line this up, because I'm like, dude, I'm not going to wait for you to try to book a session in, okay? So we're going to look at this. Gary, if you just quickly putting it in there, okay? If it's short for Gerald, I don't know. Or if there's another way you spell it, Gareth. But we're just going to put Gary. Maybe you've got a really cool middle name. You let me know. But if you want to put something in here that's going to work for you and that's going to help you, and wait for the zap. Okay, wait for the zap. It's going to be Gary O. Baronet. Okay, Gary X. Baronet. Gary F. Baronet. Or Gary H., Gary Q., or Gary Z. Baronet. Okay, those are your options. For me, I would say Gary X or Gary F. If you've got a cool middle name, let me know and I'll write it in there for you. And sure, middle name is John. Won't work. Damn. Gary John Baronet. It's tough because this is like an angel. Like you really want to do things for other people. Like very strongly. But you're being blocked in a really hard way. So I would suggest Gary X or Gary F would be the best number for you right now. But were we to, you could also put Gary EJ, Gary JE, or Gary ES, or Gary SE. Those 2 number formats, like EJ or JE, like imagine Gary JE Baronet. Oh, JE is just short for John. That's how you spell it, right? JE. Would it work if you're going? No, so JE. Okay, Gary JE. Like, let's imagine this number. Pulls you to your Mastery King vibe right now. In case you're like, whoa, that's the one I need. I don't care. Give me 2 middle letters. I don't even care. Gary JE Baronet. Boom. Great. My dad's name is Edward. I don't care. Whatever. Like, it is now. you know, like you take that kind of a name. This is the one that gives me the biggest zap. But then the next level zap, if you're like, I can't take 2 letters, I'd rather take the F or I'd rather take the X. You can't take the J. J won't work, okay? But Gary X or Gary F, otherwise Gary J.E. Like, boom. Just so we know that that's the vibe that we're showing up there with, okay? Let's make sure I have this here. Okay, good. And if you have any questions, let me know, but I wanted to gift you with a name today, okay, just so you know. Jody. If Jody's here, Gina's here, Ian, Akiko, I've run to an hour and a half, so I may not be doing this. You're like, no, 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 no. So if you're still here and you're like, look, I really want to get my numbers read, just let me know right now, and I will absolutely do it for you if you guys are okay to stick with me for another 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But, okay, Jody, let's do this. 7, okay, then we see 29, and then we see 1967, so life past 7. Sorry, wrong birthday. Wrong birthday. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Okay, so we're going to go Jody, 12 for December. You see 3, and then we'll see December 5th, right? 5. Okay, here we go. Sorry, Jody Reusen. Sorry, Jody A. Stevens. I am so sad right now that that just happened to you. Jody Reusen was in Q. So we're gonna look for we're doing that Jody with a Y. Please don't throw anything at me. I need a new piece of paper for this because I'm getting too confused here. So Jody is gonna look like this. Jody, we're gonna see 3. Jody, then we're gonna see 5. Then we're gonna see 1979 as an 8. Freaking cool. Okay, so 3, 5, 8. Not so cool. There's a challenge in here, but it also looks really cool. Okay, so as a, like the components inside of your name, Jody with a Y, are that there is a fun version to you, a passionate version to you, and a wealth version to you that continues to grow out as you get a little bit older. Okay. Right now, though, your middle number, your main number 7, can keep you feeling like I can't find my voice. We don't know which one's going to show up. There's going to be a part of us that can't find our voice, or another part of us that blurts stuff out, or that just goes and talks stuff, or wants to go and express itself. And then there's another part that says, oh, but people are going to judge me. I'm already judging myself. I don't know what to say. And the 7 is going to draw you back a little bit, where all these other numbers are like, I don't care. I'm going to run. I need to go really fast. I want to just have fun. I want to feel the wind on my face, and I want to just like express my vision. And it also shows up to become really wealthy one day. Like, look, there's wealth in my birthday. Like, you really do want to have it. It's just not there yet. And we're like, what the heck is missing? Because you can see it in your mind. The 7 is intuitive and empathic and somewhat psychic, if you will. So there is a part of you that's like that you've seen your success, and you're living in your dream. And then when the reality comes in, that 5, the 3, the 8 in your birthday show up to think, I want to be social. I want to just go out and enjoy and have fun and do things. And I want to make money. I want to create wealth. I want to do that. So just in case that's showing up for you, I'm like, oh, that sucks. Because one side wants to be super ambitious. The other part just doesn't want to be bothered. And we're this tug of war. Now, I'm going to give you a name, and I am going to run through this a little bit faster for everyone so that I can get through people, because I really do have to go. So we're going to go Jody Reusen like this. Story of your life, eh? Like, man, this is like an awkward energy and an anxiety that can show up, a feeling of I'm not following what I really want to do. Let's put this back in order. C, D, E, F, E. N. Okay, so I would be doing Jody N or Jody W with your last name. N, shoot. Okay, so let's try A, N, N. Oh, man. I'm not sure if that's a birth name or not, but let's just go Jody A, B, A, K, or A, T will work if you wanted to use the letter A. Or if you wanted to take the more fun road, Jody N or Jody W. N or W will give you some fun right now, a much needed social explosion expansion. And then from there, if you really wanted to Vicky, I don't have you on the list, so I won't be able to give someone your spot. I'm so sorry. I appreciate you. I didn't write your birthday down when I should have if I missed you, but I appreciate you so much. Okay, so Jody, you have this option. N or W takes you down the fun path. Your birthday says fun. A T, A B, A K, K A, K T, sorry, A. So it's you could have the choice of A B, A K, or AT, or the other way around, TA, KA, or BA. Shows up as the more serious version of you in case you really want to grow into your wealth or grow into your love, grow into your heart. And if heart is a really big thing, that we should take that. But if you're like, you know what, I could really use the fun right now, the W will at least take you forward right now, but it may not be there forever, okay? You may not want to take it forever, so don't change your name legally. But Jody A. Rusin is actually a really solid name. Cool. Gina, are you still with me? Is Gina Marie still with me? If it's not Gina, it's Ian. If it's not Ian, it's Akiko. And if it's not any of you guys left, then I got to go. Okay, so it's been an absolute pleasure to do this for you guys, to share with you a bit of that divine message. I hope you found exactly what you needed to hear in our time together. Whether you're watching the replay, you're watching us live. If you are watching us live or you're watching the replay, join us live. Join us live. Let us know. You know, all you really have to do is add me to Facebook. Ian's here, so Ian, you're next. All you have to do is add me to Facebook, and then that way when I come live, you're here with me. You can book in at www.bobbyfperryhard.xyz. If you'd like to learn what I do and how I do it and what I'm doing, www.numerologymastery.info. It's a 4-day course. It's going to be absolutely nuts. All right, let's talk about this. Ian is the kid that is not going to grow up. Like, we're just not going to see that happen, okay? You are also a life path 7. So we look at Ian being born March 3rd, 81, okay? I know. Damn, Bobby, on fire. Taylor, happy birthday. Congratulations. Unbelievable congratulations. You make sure that we're going to talk. We're going to talk. I'm just so excited for everything that's happening in your life right now. I can't even imagine. Like, I love you so much. I appreciate you for everything that you are, and whatever you need from me, you call me, let me know. I've got some gifts for you, but would love to help you into the next adventure and journey that you're going through in your life. It's going to be nuts. Okay, so it's a powerful message. Watch the replay. I'm finishing up on some readings here. I was scared off Gina and Akiko, but my boy Ian has been patient. Ian, there's a party that is always going to be patient, okay? Because you're a life path 7. So life path 7, you're like, I got all day. I'm going to listen to this. I'm waiting for this. And 7 is like, what's he going to tell me? The 7 is also very knowing. There's 2 versions of you here, okay? One side of you is the deep, strong, and silent type, and the other side of you is very young boy, jovial, very innocent. I just want to have fun. So there's 2 tales here, okay? One tale is of the master, and that's the intuitive, like, quiet and very, very empathic nature. Right? It will find its independence one day. But on the other side, you have a very solid move of fun boy, like, play, big, like, let's enjoy it, like, can't wait to meet you and crack beers with you, bro. Like, this is a fun person to be around. You light up people's lives. You really, like, it's fun to know you, okay? Like, it's good. I would be surprised if you don't have any tattoos. I'd be surprised if you don't have high scores on PlayStation or Xbox or at least Super Nintendo. Come on, like, where were you as a kid? But these 3s are like, I want to enjoy my childhood. And the 7 is like, I'm going to get really deep in this. So we have 2 versions of you. And as you grow older, the little kid side of you becomes more annoyed because the 7 part of you is growing. You're like, I'm going to do big things. But then the 3 part's like, I don't take myself seriously. I don't know how to take myself as seriously as I want to. And, like, you know, it's like I'm challenged by myself. I can see my vision, but I'm also challenged underneath this I want to have fun vibe. I'm about to give you a name, and then I got to go, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put your name together. And sometimes it's awkward because I'm like, oh, shoot, what if his name is really, really good? And it is. And it is. Ian Bailey. Okay, now you could take a letter if you're like, well, I want middle name is David. So let's just try The letter D. No. Let's try Dave. No. Let's try David. Kind of serious kind of fellow. This is a really strong leader. That childhood part of you gets you in more in trouble than you'd like it to. But this is a strong level of leadership that grows. But cool to see that. Okay, so Ian Bailey, you could take a B, you could take a K, or you could take a T in case you want to get more serious. If you're cool and comfortable being part Teddy, part Grizzly, part leader, part mystery, Ian Bailey is a perfect name. So we do expect some success from you. If your business page doesn't say Ian Bailey, what are you doing? Like, it needs to say that name. It's a wonderful name. Ian David Bailey is now a little bit of a challenge. If I put D on there, let's just try this. D V D A, no. D D, no. D C, no. What is it? F D G D. Yeah, that'll be Ian D G or D P or D Y Bailey. So let's just leave letter D out of it for a minute. But Ian Bailey speaks of an intuition. It speaks of a business. And it also speaks of a family. It's a wonderful, all-around, solid vibe. In case you're okay in being patient, I would suggest you need to cool your horses. And then and a part of you is like, I know I'm patient. I get it. Cool your horses on the trying to be mature part. Be a big kid. Be a big, like a fun-loving explosion of joy. That's fine. That's a good thing. That's a great thing. You can do that, okay? I would say that that's a really powerful place to enjoy your life, because by the time you get 55, you'll realize that you've stepped into your king mode. And it's a wonderful place to be in at that moment. If you're feeling like, I need that, I got the zap though. When you said Ian K. Bailey or Ian T. Bailey or Ian B. Bailey, I got that zap. Should I not take that name? Yes. If you get the zap and you're like, I'd like to be more serious, I'd like to be a little bit more connected to my spirituality, I don't want to identify so much with my childhood ways, then Ian Bailey may be like, well, that number is taking you more into your love than in this case perhaps is serving you. This feeling of I'm giving too much of myself up for others. A bit more of a distant stance would be Ian B, Ian K, or Ian T Bailey. Okay, so just so we know that's the name. Otherwise, Ian Bailey, and that's why I was like, oh, no wonder you're in my peripheral, because I've been seeing you post and stuff. Whether in I don't know, whatever group it was or whatever thing, how we got connected. But I took notice to your name, and it's because it's the same vibe that I'm running. So in case you're like, well, if it's the same vibe, how come I'm not getting the success that I'm looking for? It's because you're born on March 3rd. You don't want to grow up. You got your Peter Pan outfit on, and you're like, yeah, true that. Last night was so much fun, and that's the challenge. So in case you're like wanting to get out of that, then put the letter in there and get yourself out of the woods. Otherwise, make a nice home in the woods and really enjoy that you're a fun-loving guy and that you have a really good level of power. I am personally building my life on this name. So in case you're like, I'm with you, bro, then give yourself a bit of patience to be that fun, jovial, super immature little guy that is still never, you're like, no, not growing up, poo-poo. You're like, I'm not going to grow up. I'm just going to be a nice big kid my whole life. And hey, look at that, 222. That's the longest goal I've ever done. I experienced 111 and 222 right when I'm talking to my boy Ian. You're a big soul, bro. I appreciate you for being here. Akiko, you're still here, so you're last, okay? That's it. I absolutely can't, not do yours while you're still here. But sorry, Gina. Sorry, Marina. Sorry, Georgina, Linnell. Anyone else that I missed? Vicky. Okay, so Akiko, let's do this. Same idea for Akiko, so we really don't have to go too far with this. Born in December, then she has the 31, and then we have, I'm just going to write Akiko here, okay? And then we have 1960, which is the 7. So we have these numbers here that show up. 3 plus 4, 7 plus 7 is 5. Okay, I'm just going to double check this. Let's do this. I'm just going to count out your birthday. 12, 31, 1960. Okay, good. Bobby, you still got it. So life path 5, okay? This one might have been a little less patient. Thank you, Egel. It was a pleasure to have you here. So this one might be a little bit less patient. And she's like, come on, you're going to get to me, right? You're going to get to me, right? Kiko's a life path 5, wants everything done like yesterday. So this 5 is a very, like, I'm going to run and I've got a lot of energy. So traveling would be good. Moving a lot would be really powerful. Getting on a boat or getting on a car, or, you know, doing, like, if we have a session, you'll probably end up doing it in your car. But this feeling of you staying fluid is a really strong piece of the game. Then you're born in December, which is going to be a part of your charm, your youth, your creativity. You're going to look young for your age. You're going to look really young. You're going to fool people all day long with how old you really are. You don't feel that old at all. You don't look that old at all. You don't identify with that age, because this 3 that we're just talking about in Ian's case, it creates a very strong level of youth for you. Then, being born on the 31st, this 4 and this 5 is like, it reminds me, and we were talking about how much I love Japanese, right? Toyota, I remember I worked for Toyota as a car salesman, and they had this saying called Kaizen, right? Like continuous improvement. It was a thing that they had, right? And so they were taught us about how you always keep getting better and this and that. The 4 in your chart says, I'm going to be solid, I'm going to work hard. And the 5 in your chart says, I'm not going to stop. So it's that feeling of like, I'm going to keep getting better. I'm going to keep working harder. I'm never going to stop. I'm not going to have any breaks. I'm just going to keep on working. I'm going to get super exhausted when it comes into the conversation of creating wealth, because you're working harder than you are experiencing your energy. So just so you know, when we see this 4 and this 5 in here, this is like a really powerful car without brakes. You're just running, okay? And it becomes quite wise in its later years. At the age of 55, this quietness takes over, and you're like, yeah, I remember that. I remember those days. I still run really hard, and I still want to move, and I still want to, but I also care about spiritual spaces, and a deep level of wisdom shows up as well inside of this. But this can be a financial frustration over everything else. The 5 spends more than it makes. The 3 kind of doesn't really want to worry about money. The 4 just wants to work really hard and doesn't care about making a lot of it, just cares about working really hard for it. And you're like, ouch, because I do want to make money. But then the 4 is kind of like standing in your way, being like, you just work hard for money. Stop it. And you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. And then now that it's gotten quiet, the 7 is like, I don't need money. Everything's provided for. So we're like dodging the financial conversation through all of this. This name that I'm about to give you will solve a lot of that. So let's go Akiko Fujiwara, okay? Super. This is that feeling that's like that really pretty girl who's kind of awkward. And you know, you want to be cool, but you aren't. It's like, I want to be fun and I want to be cool, but I always just say something super silly, or I don't quite say it the way I need to. And like, I look nice, but I just want to get out of here. Or like, I just embarrass myself. And this is that feeling inside of that number. Okay. So I would be saying, put an E on there for Pete's sake. Akiko E Fujiwara, please. Put a letter E in your name somewhere, and you could spell Akiko in a different way, or spell Fujiwara with an E in there, where Akiko E Fujiwara would be the wonderful place for you to solve all of this issue. I would absolutely suggest you take it. Now it puts your wealth in front. It puts your spirituality on the inside, and then it allows you to express as a loving, caring, you know, or if you want, you're like, you got anything, you got anything more fun? I would say Akiko G, Akiko P, or Akiko Y Fujiwara. This one allows you to pull back from your youth as a little girl and also puts you into balance for wealth. So in case you're like, perfect, I get a chance to find a pocket of myself where I'm really young. As well, I get to use my ambition and I get to make money. This hits a lot of the pieces along the same conversation. Akiko E Fujiwara would now turn more into serious and mature, where you're like, do I have to be really mature? No. You can go Akiko G, and you're like, oh, thank God, I love dancing. I love just fooling around and just having fun. And I would really like to make money doing all of that. That's how that name would work. But cool. So clients, have we done our session already? And you're not in my private mastermind in 2 hours. Oh man, it's been almost 2 hours now. And in another 2 hours, I'm gonna run my private version of this. So it's gonna be a much deeper conversation where we open up all of the pieces of the spiritual thing that we're experiencing right now, and go into a lot of the stuff that we're going to teach inside of the mastery class. So if you're a client of mine and you're not in my alumni series group, let me know, and I will let you in. I will let you into the group, and then that way you can be a part of it. You're welcome, Ian. You're welcome, Akiko. You're welcome, Egley. You're welcome, Irina. I appreciate all of you guys so much for being in my life, for being with this extensive go live. It's a long one. And reach out to me. Book your session. Find out what that story says about you. Follow me. I'm on YouTube now. With the podcast in production. By the time you're listening to this, if it's on your the Solution Artist Bobby F. Perry Harp podcast already, then we've made it. You've seen it, but this will be a recording I put on there for you. And to be a part of this information has been an absolute crazy feel. Leimomi, I will add you to the group. I'll do that for you in a few minutes. Actually, let me just do it right now. And actually, if any of you are with me, let me know. And I will quickly add you into the group. If you're here right now and you've already had your session done, I will add you to my group. So Leimomi, you're being put in there. Anyone else? Jody, are you in there? Jody H. Stevens. Okay, I'm adding you into my group as well. Who else needs to be added into the group? If you are not in the group yet and you need to be in there, I'm adding you guys in. Today at 5 o'clock or in 2.5 hours, you're going to, I'm going to be broadcasting something very, very private for my clients only, okay? Christine wants to be in there, absolutely. I'm going to add Alejandra, if you don't mind. I'd love to have you in there. I'm also going to put in Christine, okay? So you guys are in there as well. Christine Milan, okay, you're in there as well, guys. I appreciate you so much for everything, all of you guys being in there inside of my life. I will see you guys all very soon. Take some time to meditate. Take this next little quiet space to be with your thoughts and to think, what are you truly letting go of that's been blocking you inside of your success, that's been preventing you from getting to the next level, that bullshit story you've been telling yourself that's no longer going to solve or serve anything. What are you letting go of that's no longer going to be there? And the conversation continues in a few hours. All right, guys, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Much love. Happy 7/7. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.